All right, so in the last video, we looked at solving by graphing. Now we're going to solve by substitution. So we're going to be solving it still. We're going to find where do the lines cross, but we're not actually going to graph them. So again, we have these steps for how we could do this. Step one would be to solve one of the equations for one of the variables or terms, right? So we get an x by itself or we get a y by itself. Step two is substitute in to the other equation. And then step three, and then after we substitute in, we have to solve for that variable. And then step three, we plug back in. Okay, let's see how this works. Example 5, this is y equals negative 3x plus 5 and 3x minus 2y equals 17. Now this one's already nicely set up for us. They've done step one. We have a y equals, right? We don't need a y equals, we need a y equals or an x equals. This one happens to be y. So y equals this, I'm going to plug that in to the other y. So whenever I plug that in, I'll get 3x minus 2, and then I open parentheses, negative 3x plus 5 equals 17. This is my y that I substituted in, right? We have done the substitution now. Now we just have to solve this equation. We have 3x, that'll be plus 6x minus 10 equals 17. So 9x equals 27 and x equals 3. But we're not done yet. We have to plug back in to get our y. It doesn't matter which one you plug into now, but you want to make the decision on which one would be easiest, right? I think the easiest one would be that top one. So I'm going to plug that in to the top one. That will be y equals negative 3 times positive 3, because that's my x, plus 5. So this is negative 9 plus 5, which is negative 4. Okay. Now we need to write this as an ordered pair. My ordered pair would be 3, negative 4. There we are. Example 6. This should be 4x plus 5y equals 11, and 4x equals negative 2y plus 2. Now this one's not set up for us already. We're going to have to make a decision on which variable do we want to solve for, right? There's 4 different variables here, and so we could take it 4 different directions right now. You want to try to make a decision on which one would be easiest. To me, that means which one does not make fractions. And the only one that I'm seeing that wouldn't make fractions is if I solve for that y. So I'm going to do that now. If I solve for that, I'd have to subtract the 2, so I'd have 4x minus 2 equals negative 2y. And then dividing by negative 2, I'd have negative 1/2 x plus 1 equals y. Now I have a y equals, and I'm going to plug it back into the other one. You have to plug into the other one, right? We manipulated this bottom equation to get the y equals, and we need to plug into the top one now. So 4x plus 5, parenthesis, negative 1/2 x plus 1 equals 11. All right, I plugged this in. Looks like we're going to end up with a fraction here, but we're going to have 4x plus negative 5/2 x plus 5 equals 11. 4 minus 5 over 2 is 3/2. So this is going to be 3/2. Is this negative? No, it would be positive. 3/2 x. And subtracting the 5 would give me 6. Multiplying by the reciprocal of that, I'd get x equals, well, I divide by 3. Well, here, I'll write that out. There it cancels. 6 divided by 3 is 2, times 2 is 4. So x equals 4. Now I'm going to plug into this equation there, so I get negative 1/2 times 4 plus 1 equals y. So negative 2 plus 1 equals y, and y equals negative 1. So my point here would be 4, negative 1. And you need to write it as a point. That's part of the problem, is writing it as a point. Example 7. This is 4y plus 1 equals x, and x equals 5y. This one's kind of nice. We have both of them are x equalses. So I'm going to plug in them to each other, and I would get 4y plus 1 equals 5y. So 1 equals y whenever I subtract there. And then I'm going to plug into this bottom equation, and I get x equals, well, 5 times 1 is just 5. So my point is 5, 1. That one was pretty easy there. Moving on, this one's going to be y equals 11 plus 4x, and 3x plus 2y equals 0. I'll plug my y into the bottom piece there, and I'll have 3x plus 2 parenthesis 11 plus 4x equals 0. Let me make this pen smaller. 3x plus 22 plus 8x is 0. I distributed the 2 there. I'm going to combine my x's together and subtract my 22. So this is going to be 11x equals negative 22. So x equals negative 2. I'm going to plug back into the top one there, and I'll get y equals 11 plus 4 times negative 2. So 11 minus 8, which is that 3? I think that's 3. Y equals 3. So writing this as a final point, I'd have negative 2, 3. All right, that is all.